Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 98th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, When to Increase Your Prices. Now, I'm pretty active in my Instagram at Dietitian Side Hustle. If you don't follow me there, go to IG, Dietitian Side Hustle, and give me a follow. I'm pretty active pretty much every single day, whether or not it's stories, reels, posts, all the things. And in my stories, actually today, I asked the Dietitian Side Hustle community, what would you like me to talk about in my next podcast episodes? And I got some really good feedback, and this is the topic that someone shared was when to increase your prices. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is a really wonderful conversation to have, so let's do it. Now, I know this topic really depends on what you're doing as a side hustle, but I hope that the conversation we have is really going to help you kind of big picture regardless of what you do for a side hustle. So if I was to give you a very quick answer of when to increase your prices, based on my experience with most dietitians, my answer would be now. Yesterday, most dietitians, from what I have seen, undercharge. You are not charging your worth. So I would say across the board, when to increase your prices, the time is now. Now, I'm being a little silly, but I will tell you I'm also being a little serious, but let's dive into this a little bit, because I will say when it comes to pricing, this is something we absolutely did not learn in school. And there's a whole lot of mindset work that goes into pricing. I am not going to tell you what to do when it comes to price. I'm not going to say, if you see patients, here's what you should charge. If you freelance right, here's what you should charge. I'm not going to tell you what to charge. I'm not going to talk about prices, but we're going to have a good conversation in today's episode that I hope will help you as you make decisions for what is best for yourself and your business. So before we dive in and talk prices, let's have some Biz 101 talk. Now, I've shared this concept before, and I really like breaking down business into an oversimplified view because I think it helps us put business into perspective. And it comes down to how we make money. So to make money in an oversimplified perspective, we need 2 things. We need something to sell and someone to sell it to, okay? We could have the best product in the entire world, but if we don't have anyone to sell it to, we're not going to make money. We could have tons of people in our world, tons of people to sell to, but if we don't have an offer for them, we're not going to make money. We need both. We need something to sell and someone to sell it to, and I will tell you, most of us struggle with finding someone to sell it to. You know, we can create an awesome handout, a cool resource. It's easier, I would say, to create something to sell than it is to find someone to sell it to. And a lot of dietitians, I think, because it's easier, it's what we know how to do, it's less uncomfortable. We gravitate towards, I have this great idea, I want to make money, I'm going to make something to sell, and the people will magically buy it. It doesn't work like that. So keep this in mind. To make money, we need something to sell, someone to sell it to, right? So I want you to keep that in mind as we dive in talking about business models. Business models, it's going to be an important conversation when we talk about pricing, because we got to figure out how are we going to price our things. So when I talk about the business model, I'm going to talk about how do you want to run your business? Do you want to have low profit, high volume, low profit, low volume, high profit, or high volume, high profit? Don't worry, I'm going to dive in and talk about each of these. But when I talk about volume and profit, think of the profit as the something to sell. Think of it as the price. Is it going to be high or is it going to be low? When I talk about volume, think of that as the something or the someone to sell it to. So are you going to sell a little bit or sell a lot? So this concept of the business model, I learned it from my business coach, Greg Todd. He learned it from his business coach, Myron Golden. And, you know, when it comes to business, there's all of these things that I'm learning that I'm like, oh my gosh, they're coming from so many different people, because abundance mindset, people share with other people, they do the thing. And now I am sharing this concept with you guys. So the thing that you need to decide when it comes to your side hustle is, are you going to focus on Again, low profit, low profit, high volume, low volume, high profit, or high volume, high profit. And I feel like through podcasts, this is like a lot of words. If I was to show you like a visual of this, I would be showing you guys like a square cut into 4 parts, and I would have like profit on the top, low, high, volume on the side, low, high, and that's where we would see all of these boxes. So I feel like, if I was drawing a picture for you, this would be easier to understand. And I hope that I am communicating it okay on this podcast. So let's talk about low profit, low volume. This would mean something that doesn't cost a lot of money. So maybe you are creating handouts that you're selling, and your handouts are maybe $5, $10, and your goal when you create them is like, oh, I want to sell a lot. But the business model you're living in, you're probably not selling a lot because, marketing is challenging, especially if you don't have the right technique. So I would say this is a business model I don't recommend. I don't think anyone recommends low profit, low volume, but sometimes that's what happens. And, we'll create a product because we're super eager, but we don't sell a lot because we just don't have someone to sell it to. So low profit, low volume is just that. You are selling a low ticket offer to not a lot of people. I don't recommend that model. And I don't think most people like plan a business to go into that model, but we got to talk about it because it's like, it's part of the thing. So next we have low profit, high volume. This would be something that doesn't cost a lot of money, but you sell a lot. Maybe you are connected with a publisher and you're selling a book, and maybe your profit's only $5, but you're selling thousands and thousands of this book. That's a decent business model, right? I mean, it's low ticket, but you're selling a lot. That could also look like a membership website. Maybe someone pays, $30 a month to be in your world, and that's, $30 isn't a ton. But if you have a lot of people in your world, my goodness, that could be, high volume and be a pretty decent business model. Now, the next 2 ones are the ones that I actually recommend a little bit more than low profit. Again, dietitian side hustle, we have people doing all of the different things. So I would say this model is really, especially for those out there, like who you guys are like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur and this is what I want to do, especially those of you who want to shift out of side hustle to full hustle. A lot of you are completely content just being side hustlers, and I am here for that too. This podcast is for all of you. People with an entrepreneurial spirit. Oh, words are hard today. Those of you with an entrepreneurial spirit and those of you who just want to do a little something on the side, there's room for everyone here. But the 2 that I really recommend are the high profit, the higher ticket offers. And so low volume, high profit would mean you have an offer that is a lot of money, but you don't sell it to a lot of people. And this is actually probably, I would say, where I kind of land right now with my offerings is I'm not focused on getting tons and tons of people into my world. I'm focused on the right people who are willing to pay the prices they need to pay to have their dreams come true. Then the next one would be high volume, high profit. I think that one takes a little bit of work. It takes being very good at business to have a high offer that you sell to lots of people. An example of that would be someone like Myron Golden. He is a business coach. He's my business coach's business coach, and he has high ticket offers that cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and he sells to a ton of people. So he is high volume, high profit. So I hope this conversation and that the business model made sense to you. So as I'm talking, I hope you're thinking in your head, well, what do I want to be? Do I want to charge a lot or a little? Do I want to serve a lot of people or a little bit of people? Because we have to figure that model out. And that really has to do with making this decision on price. Because if you've decided you want to be a low profit business, low profit, high volume, then, that's might be a different conversation. If you're deciding like, man, actually, I want to be high profit. I need to change my whole business model. I need to increase my prices now and be more of a high profit, maybe low volume business, so this is an important part of the conversation, which is why we're talking business models. So the other thing too to think about is the value ladder. A value ladder would be perhaps you have some low, medium, and high price offers. So someone comes into your world at a lower ticket offer, they go to the medium, they go to the high, or they pick one or the other. They might just go right into high. So a lot of people do have value ladders. I have one myself, and I'm going to share my example soon. But all of this Biz 101 talk to come down to the question of when should you increase your prices? Now, the answer, it depends. It depends on you. It depends on what you do. It depends on how you help people, how you are charging now, and all of the things, right? But I would say one of the things would be, well, first off, decide your business model. If you want to be high price, raise your price now. If you are maxed out on time, you're like, I have no time left in the day to do any more work, increase your prices. If you increase your prices, you're probably going to have a decrease in volume, but it'll balance itself out, right? So if you're maxed out on time, increase your prices. And kind of along that same vein, if you have a wait list, thinking of supply and demand, if you have a wait list, that means that the demand for what you have to offer is so great, you could start kicking up your prices and people will likely pay that. Some people might not, but that's okay because it frees you up the time and gets the right people in your program. Now, when to increase your prices, I would say another good answer would be before you're ready. And I say that with the intention of making you uncomfortable because, a lot of the times with prices, we think I have to add more time to my offer. I have to make it longer. I have to do all of these things to make it worth the price. I have to get this credential before I can raise my prices. I have to be a dietitian for X number of years before I raise my prices. But you really should be raising your prices before you're ready because we can spend time learning all we want, but we learn by taking action. And if you want to have a successful business, then you need to become the person now. You need to become the person now and obviously learn the skills and, everything will catch up. So oftentimes when increased prices is before you are ready because like I said at the beginning, a lot of pricing has to do with mindset. And another thing too is that when you increase your prices, that's also a wonderful opportunity to have like a last chance special. Like, hey guys, prices are going up. Here's your last chance to get in before the price jumps up. And so that could be an opportunity too for some marketing for you. So I want to share my example with pricing. Now, my business model really is low volume, high profit. I work with a decent amount of dietitians, but maybe 130 right now are in my program. So that's not like thousands and thousands of people, but I'm also high profit. I am expensive to work with, but I work with premium people who want the best results. I love doing it. Okay. So I do have a value ladder. My low ticket offer is my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course, which is a roughly $500 product. Then I have my blogging Accelerator program, which is $6,000, and I have my mastermind, which is $15,000. Now, these are the price points at the time I'm recording this in July of 2022. These prices will likely go up over time. So let me talk to you about my blogging Accelerator program because I do talk about this program quite a bit. When the program first came out, it was actually a $1,000 offer. I ended up increasing the price to $2,000. Then $3,000, and now where it lives at $6,000. Along this journey, I increased the value, and I will tell you, even at the $6,000 mark, it is worth so much more than that. And that's not even my high ticket offer, right? That is my middle ticket offer. So when did I decide to increase prices? I'll tell you, it was when my business coach told me to. Now, when my program was $1,000, Greg Todd, my business coach, is like, Katie, you need to double that. And I will tell you, when he told me that, I had all these butterflies in my stomach, all of these doubts, all of these thoughts of no one is going to sign up. My program's going to crumble. Who do I think I am? People can't afford that. Like, I had all of these limiting beliefs in my head of what would happen if I raised my price. Now I raised my price. Did any of those things come true? No. If anything, I will tell you, as I've offered higher price points, people are more likely to show up and do the work. My business coach says, when you pay attention. And also one of the best things I could do for you is charge you a lot of money, because then it gives you, well, first off, if you're going to invest a lot of money, you're going to show up and do the work to make back that money and then some, because when we're investing in ourselves, it's an investment, not just an expense like a car that, I think you guys know the picture of an investment versus an expense. An expense, when you spend it, the money's gone. Maybe you have a thing, but the money's gone. An investment is where you're putting in the money, expecting to get it all back and even more. That's what I look at when it comes to like my experience with business coaching. It's an investment because I've gotten back so much more out of it. So as I've gone on this journey and I've invested more in my business and I've gotten like, holy cow bananas, you guys know I'm a full-time entrepreneur now, not just a side hustler. That would have never happened had I not invested in, a really expensive offer, the mastermind that I'm in now. So I increased my prices because my business coach told me to. and he was right. And it's been really beneficial. I have continued to increase value, make the program better. We're getting, amazing people in the program, and I absolutely love it. So that's kind of my really quick journey, because I do like to keep these podcast episodes short, but that's my really quick journey of increasing prices. And that, it's been big jumps in prices, but it's been the right decision for my business and my brand, because I do focus on right now low volume, high profit. The goal would eventually be, if it's the right fit, to do more of a higher volume, but I'm more about having the right people in the program and serving them the best I can as I continue to grow my business. So we talked about a lot today. I think that's a lot to consider. And you guys probably noticed I didn't give you a straightforward answer on when to increase your prices, because ultimately it depends on you. It depends on your business model. But for most of you, the answer is going to be right now, because you're undercharging. So I hope this conversation helped. I hope it was helpful to think about, okay, here's how I make money. I got to have something to sell, someone to sell it to. And in my business model, I have to decide, am I going to sell low profit or high profit? Am I going to sell to low volume or high volume? And all the things considered, like, okay, what business model am I going to have? How much time do I have? Do I have a wait list? What's my supply and demand look like? And just raise your prices before you're ready, guys. I think that's the best thing I could tell you, is do it now for 99.9% of you. And that could be whether or not you're an entrepreneur selling digital products, having a course, having a group program, working with patients one-on-one, working with group patient or group programs, whether or not you are a freelancer and you're doing freelance writing or doing webinars. It's really amazing when you increase your prices and people still buy. Pretty amazing. So I hope this was a helpful conversation, and thank you so much to the Dietitian Side Hustle Instagram community for asking for this podcast episode. I will tell you, if you ever have a topic you want me to talk about on the podcast, feel free to reach out, and I am happy to make an episode just for you as well. So have an amazing day, and thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you want to see how we can work together, feel free to go to katiedodd.com, and you can learn about all the ways we could work together, from my awesome freebies to my premium paid programs. So thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.